game week is finally upon us. The Oregon Ducks will host Montana State on Saturday at Austin Stadium, and we couldn't be more excited here on the Ducks Confidential podcast to have a game to talk about, even though it's Montana State. I'm Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian OregonLive, and he is George Wrighster, former Oregon and NFL legend. What's up, my brother? It's been a minute. How you doing?
Man, what up, man? What up? I am excited. I am ready for this season to start. I'm excited to judge the Ducks against some competition that shouldn't be competition, while some other people are playing big-time games this weekend. But it's also nice to be able to watch other games and not be sweating it. Sweating all day, because I have a visceral reaction when the Ducks lose. Like when the Ducks lose, my week is ruined. Like it is hard. I cover college football, so it is hard for me to do my job. That's how bad it is. Yes. So I am happy that the Ducks aren't one of these teams like imagine being a Stanford fan right now. They just lost to Hawaii. They haven't won more than 4 games since 2018. Like, imagine that sort of existence. Imagine rooting for a poverty team. That would be terrible.
I'm a Chicago Bears fan and a Bulls fan, so the last 30 years haven't been great. So I can read it a little bit. How long did it take for you to get over the Ohio State loss then? Are you still mourning that?
Oh man, I put that in the dust pretty
in March.
Yeah. It took me about a month after the national championship to deal with it, but at the same time, people took it way harder than I did, because I understood it for what it was. I understood it as if teams play 10 times, then you're going to get an outlier result one or two of those times. I believe that those were the 2 best teams in the country last year. I do believe that the 25-day layoff for the Ducks absolutely hurt them, while Ohio State got a chance to play, get a tune-up, and be ready. And that's why they started so slowly. In addition to Chip doing a masterful job, like scheming up things. And I think that that's one of those growth games and growth factors that it takes for coaches, coaching staffs, and teams for you to get to the next level. Sometimes you got to get your head kicked in. And people soon forget that even Alabama and the mighty Nick Saban have gotten their doors kicked in the college football playoff. In the national championship, they lost by almost 40 points. In Ohio State,
I got them going.
Bageled.
I got them going.
They got bageled in the college football playoff. So like people making this grand statement about the program and all of this stuff, like settle down. The end is not near. Everything is okay.
Ooh, I spun you like a top. Just let you go. All right, today we're going to talk about the Montana State game, obviously, and then we're each going to pick 5 players, not named Dante Moore, that we think have to excel this season for the Ducks to have a chance to get back to the playoffs and maybe not have their doors blown off. But before we get to that, I got to do the ad read today. Today's episode of Ducks Confidential is brought to you by Travel Lane County, an organization that promotes travel and tourism in the Eugene, Cascades, and Coast region. Ducks fans can find out more at www.eugenecascadescoast.org. All right, Montana State, FCS program, but the number 1 ranked FCS program, and they finished 2nd in the country last year, losing the national championship game to one of the Dakotas. Was it South? It was one of the Dakotas, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was South Dakota.
It was South Dakota. So very good program, clearly, but they don't have the talent level Oregon does. So we expect a victory. I mean, that's a given. What else do you want to see aside from, the clear win that's coming?
Oh, man. I just want to see – well, actually, number 1, I want health. I want health, and I want to feel good about Dante when the first game is over with. Right. That's all I want. I want a health. I want to feel good about Dante. Oh, and also I want to run the football and not give up silly third and longs, because when you give up silly third and longs, though that is against Montana State, that is a recipe for a disaster for your season in terms of your ability to get stops on third and long. Because defenses talk about all the time, we got to get them in third and long. But there are defenses that you watch and they let them out of third and long regularly. And those are backbreakers to a team, to the morale, and you can't have that happen.
All right, so you want to see some third down efficiency on defense as well as, I'm sure, offense. All right, now, Dante Moore at UCLA, we all know he struggled, but the first 3 games against Coastal Carolina, San Diego State, and North Carolina Central, he lit it up. Dude,
I was at 2 of those 3 games, by the way.
He had 7 touchdowns with just 1 pick in those 3 games. Of course, things went downhill after that. He struggled in the Pac-12, but Montana State, similar competition, although, San Diego State, we would consider them obviously better. But, I mean, I have no reason to believe that Dante's not going to light this up. I mean, he might go 15 for 18 for 4 touchdowns and then sit down, right?
And it's so funny when people get to talking about Dante in his year at UCLA, because
you don't have to defend him. I'm just making a point.
No. This isn't a defense necessarily. Okay. This is just, all right. How many people do you think, even on television, who are talking about Dante or on YouTube or on anything else, they actually watched him play at UCLA? Like actually watched significant snaps? Or do you think they did what a lot of analysts do, which is
I think
box
most
score read?
Yeah, I think most people watched him because he was such a big deal. No?
No. I think that people that cover the Pac-12 did.
Okay.
But nationally, no, not so much.
Okay.
Because UCLA wasn't expected to be super good and all of those things. And here's the truth of Dante Moore, and this is as honest as I can be about it. So he did some positive things at UCLA, but he also did one thing that just I was like, it was gross to me. It made me want to throw up. And I was like, yo, does this kid have the heart needed? And then then all the steps after, it led me to believe, oh, wait, actually he does. So there was I think it was against Cal. First of all, he came out in the game in a shiesty, which is that's one of those like ski masks with the eyes, with the eye hole out. Your quarterback cannot be in a shiesty unless it is like 10 degrees outside, under no circumstances. And then his helmet came off, and it got like knocked, and he just sat, and he got knocked on the ground. He just sat on the ground, helmet off, and he looked defeated, and he quit.
Which game was this?
I think that was the Cal game, last game of the season.
Okay.
It was disgusting.
I
was as a football. It was almost as bad as Anthony Richardson tapping out of the game for the Colts. Like, as far as football goes, it was gross. But then the kid goes and is like, I'm transferring. I need to. Like, instead of going somewhere else and trying to start immediately, which he could have because he's crazy talented, he went and was like, I'm going to go sit, I'm going to learn, I'm going to develop, and my plan is to stay at Oregon starting this year and start the next year. That's the plan. Regardless of what actually happens, that's the mentality that he said going into it. Once I found out about his mom being sick, he was like, I didn't really should be starting. Thought I was too hot shot and all that stuff. That level of humility and willing to take it back to the drawing board are things that you can get excited about.
100%. He was humbled completely. And we talked about it here in Oregon. When he decommitted, it was like, oh, he doesn't want to back up Bo. Right, he thinks he's too good to back up Bo Nix, who was coming off ridiculous.
He thought he was.
Yeah,
who found out he wasn't.
Exactly. Which we talked about it on Talking Ducks, where it's like, come on, you can't go somewhere and sit for a year and learn. We know that very rarely is a guy ready to just come out the gate killing it, especially with a team where you're not surrounded with a lot of talent to sort of carry you. I'm writing an article about Dante, actually, and one of the points I'm making is that Mariota came out the gate hot, right? But he was a redshirt freshman, and he had Kenyon Barner, DeAnthony Thomas, Josh Huff to lean on, whereas Dante Moore didn't really have a great running game. It was okay, but it wasn't racking up 320 a game like Oregon was in 2012. And with that offensive line, remember that offensive line with Grasu, Fisher, and
yes, that
Long?
was one of the better offensive lines.
Yeah, it was a stacked team where Marcus only threw for like 2,800 yards or something like. Oh,
yes,
say
it wasn't no.
He didn't carry the team.
Yeah.
He just functioned. Whereas Dante almost had to carry the team. That wasn't very good. Now, the guy who replaced him did better, but the guy who replaced him, was it Garbers, yeah. He was a veteran, though. He was a junior who had paid his dues and was better equipped to handle running the offense.
Garbers was efficient, but like Garbers was like one of those quarterbacks where
game manager.
Like there's nothing special about him.
Right.
But you can be like, if you put a great team around Garbers, you can do some really nice things.
Right.
But if you're expecting him to do the heavy lifting, it ain't happening.
Exactly. But and that shows the difference between the two, because the talented one wasn't ready to do the basics and struggled. So now, like you said, he humbled himself. He learned. He knows the system now. This will be his second year in it. So you expect those things, those problems to be not erased, but to be, diminished greatly. And then his talent to shine, because the talent is there. So I agree with you 100% on what we both want to see in this game. I've covered way too many of these types of games where you just basically show up and you're like, oh my God, please let it end at some point.
Yes.
Because this is meaningless. But there's a lot of newness, right? There's so many fresh faces.
Yeah.
We settled on 18 or 19 starters.
They need reps.
Yeah, they need reps. They need the gel. They need continuity. I mean, not only do you have a young quarterback, you got receivers. You lost your top 3 productive receivers from last season, and your tight end. Now, we know Sadiq's going to be good, but still, you got 4 new starting offensive linemen. Defense, 9 new starters. So there's a lot of newness there that's going to be interesting to watch work together for the first time. So let's segue then that into our next topic, which we're going to each pick 5 guys that we're interested in seeing what they do, and basically believe that they're going to be extremely important to this team having a chance to contend. And again, we're not talking about a chance to win 8 or 9 games or even just to win 10. We're talking about a chance to get back into the playoffs and make a better run toward a national title, because that's what the program is. That's what we talk about. So when we nitpick, we're nitpicking at that level, not at, they won 10 game level, which is what we kind of expect. All right. Let's go. I'll give you the chance to go first. Give me your first guy on your list.
First guy on my list is going to be Isaiah World, the left tackle. He is advertised as a potential first-round pick, and this offensive line is made up of veterans, but they're veterans from other places for the most part.
Isn't it crazy? 4 new linemen.
Yes.
And they're all like 5th or 6th year seniors, right?
Yes. Obviously, the center and Bedford have been in the program for a while. So you have 3 guys that are coming in new, but have played a lot of football other places. And Isaiah World is the guy who has to show up in a leadership role and on the field.
Okay, I'm definitely with you. That's a good one. I'm gonna stay in the line with you and go with another guy I'm writing about. You can catch it on OregonLive this week. Poncho Lalulu. Did a one-on-one interview with him the other day. He talked about how Jackson Powers Johnson taught him how to be just mean. He said Powers Johnson was just a maniac and taught him how to elevate his tenacity. Yeah. We saw him blossom last year. He struggled early and got better and better, became honorable mention All Big Ten. Now, he's on the Remington list. Right. Yep. And so that creates expectations. And this is a program, the center list is insane. So I did my all quarter century.
That's
team
a difficult.
That
was one of the more difficult spots to probably put together, because there's been some very good centers.
You got Unger, Grasu, and Jackson Powers Johnson were all Americans. You have all conference guys like Forsyth, Jordan Holmes, remember him? And then, of course, Inoka Lucas. Jake Hansen.
Yes, you got to leave all conference guys off the list. And in fact, you probably had to leave an All-American off the list, which is crazy.
So can Poncho get into that category? Be first team All-League, be maybe a Remington finalist? We'll see. But, dude, he's the only returning center, which blows my mind. Again, I haven't covered college football full-time since 18-19. Right. And so everything's changed since then. And so the idea of having just one returning starter is just like, wow. But it's your center. Right. And so your center, he has to organize and galvanize all these new faces on the line, but also make sure that the QBs know what they're doing. Because he's going from Dylan, right, who, new in the system, but not new to playing quarterback. Clearly, had 60-something starts coming in or whatever he had, 50-something. So now he's got to help with his checks, make sure he's on point. Dante talked about that, how much of a help Pancho has been. And Pancho said he's been trying to learn the formations and the routes because he wants to know what everyone's supposed to be doing. Because he doesn't just want to lead the O-line and help the quarterbacks. He wants to make sure everyone's doing what they're doing because he's the man in charge in the middle of that offense. And so for me, he's definitely a big key to this season.
I 100% agree. All right, so
now you go.
All right, so for me next, I am going to go with wide receiver 3. Whoever wide receiver 3 is, because it is obviously Dante Moore and Gary Bryant Jr. are going to be 1 and 2. Now, whether number 3 is Malik Benson, Jeremiah McClellan, Kyler Casper, Dylan Gresham, Justice Lowe, whoever it is going to be, that person needs to step up and in a hurry.
Amen. All right. I'm going to go to the defensive side for this one and go a guy you turned me on to. You mentioned him to me, Amari Washington.
Yes.
Defensive tackle, 4-star kid in 2003. And you talked about this too in one of our podcasts about how, there's a lot of new starters, a lot of new faces, but because of blowouts and because of how they structure things, they always try to make sure they got young guys time, right?
Yes.
So here's a situation where you lost Jamari Caldwell, 3rd-round pick to the Chargers. You lost Derek Harmon, 1st-round pick to the Steelers, which is just insane losing a 1st and 3rd-round pick in your interior, right?
Yep.
And then, but this guy, Washington, has appeared in 22 games.
Yep.
Including all 14 last season.
That's what I'm saying.
So he's gotten
no rookie, buddy.
Exactly. He's gotten reps, right?
Yep.
He hasn't gotten starter reps, but I think he got 300 snaps last year, right? So he's not necessarily that green. He may not be a returning starter, but he's a returning dude. Because, and here's the thing, I'm always going to say this from here on out, because we just said it with Dante, right? If the Ducks didn't go out to get a D tackle to replace you, then they must believe you're ready to step in there and ball out. Because Oregon's they have no qualms about going out and bringing in a replacement. See Dylan Thineman, who I'll get to in a minute, right? So I'm excited to see what he does alongside the Bear, right? We all want to see what he does as well. So that's my next guy.
That's my next pick, Bear Alexander.
Okay.
Show up, fam. Show up for yourself.
Your third chance. Your third chance.
This is it, Bear. This is it. This is your last opportunity. Now, all reports are he's been great inside the weight room, great inside the locker room, great inside all this stuff. Now go put it on the field, Bear. Go put it on the field. For
now,
your,
not even for me,
not even for Ducks fans. Go put it out there for yourself so you can have all the life and the everything that you want. I hope that this is a corner turn for him as a human and a football player.
Yeah, so he was a 4-star kid coming out, I think, 15th ranked DL in the country. Oh, wait, yeah. As a transfer.
It was very highly
a transfer, 8th rated DL as a transfer. So, yeah, so, he's huge, man. 6'3", 300. Like, just go out there and show that you have the work ethic and the competitive drive to succeed, and you will get drafted.
Yes.
It's a given. I don't know what round, but you'll get an opportunity to make money and secure some wealth for your family. All right. I'm going to go now. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I cheated. We're supposed to do 5, but I'm going to combine 2. Tight end Kenyon Sadiq and then wide receiver Gary Bryant Jr. I'm combining them because Dante, young quarterback, needs some targets. Now, we all believe Sadiq is going to be special. Like, we saw flashes. Again, it's another example of he didn't start, but damn, right?
Yeah.
But damn, he's good. He's going to ball out. But there's some young receivers. Obviously, Dante Moore, true freshman. He could be Jeremiah Smith, or he could be Cameron Colvin, who was a top, I think, number 2 receiver in the country, came to Oregon in 2005, who was good, but didn't blow the doors off like Jeremiah does. So we don't know exactly where Decorian's going to fit.
I'm telling you right now, you can trust that Dante Moore is going to be good. From what he's doing in practice, you can take it to the bank.
I believe you. And I'm not saying he won't be. I'm just saying he's still young. Right.
Yeah,
and Jeremiah
100%.
Smith provides something that Decorian doesn't have, and that's just ridiculous size. Like,
yes,
correct.
He's
like the Jonathan Stewart equivalent of wide receivers, where Stewart came into college already built like a He-Man doll, right? Yeah. So, but Gary Bryant Jr. gives you that veteran guy. He's had injury issues. Things didn't work out at USC. He could have had a big year last year, but injuries slowed him down. But he's been productive when he's been available. And now, as a senior, as a veteran who knows the system like he should, he could be that reliable dude. And I always talk about this, man. Big plays are great, but you talked about third downs, how demoralizing those are. How do you convert third downs? With smart receivers who get open on time for your quarterback. And they need that guy, and this could be the guy as a veteran to pull that off.
Yep.
You agree? Dang, we got no pushback going anywhere. All right.
No, because all these people are very important. But it is going to get spicy in a second. Don't worry.
Okay. Here we go. Go ahead.
My fourth one is Brandon Finney Jr.
Okay.
He's going to be likely the starting cornerback, one of the starting cornerbacks when they run out of the field on Sunday.
6'2".
Yes. And we're talking about a true freshman. As a starter. That's crazy. And he's got to be good. Obviously, he's young, so he's going to take some lumps. But we could be looking at like a Derek Stingley Jr. with him, where like as a freshman, you're like, God, we got a dude. We got a first-round pick in a couple years. That's what this kid is looking like. And mind you, that's no knock on like Efi, who they love as well. So both of those two young guys are going to play tremendous amount of snaps. And one of them will be starting. But that's a whole nother story.
All right. Well, damn, I'm scared to pick my next two because you said it's about to get spicy. Now I'm on the defensive. All right. I'm going to go with safety Dylan Thieneman. Is that a problem?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm going with him because, look, again, we know there's some ballers bubbling underneath the surface right there, but still, your whole secondary is being replaced pretty much. They brought in Dylan for a reason. All-American at Purdue with a bad defense. He stood out. He's a guy who could be a first, second, or third round pick as soon as next season. And he gives you veteran presence. He gives you aptitude at that position. He gives you leadership, and he makes plays anywhere. Right? He can be free. Yep. He can be strong. He can be at the nickel. So just having that one dude, at least that one guy who's been there, done it at a high level, to help coordinate, orchestrate, and keep people where they're supposed to be. Just like Poncho's going to do at center. Huge addition for the Ducks. I can't wait to see this kid play.
Oh, yeah, because he's being asked to do some different things than he was last year. And he's been able to sell people on the building because everybody in the building wasn't, super elate. They weren't sold initially. And now... Really? Yeah. No. I'm talking about just off the tape. But once he got in the building and started practicing, they were like, oh, okay. Yeah, he's good. But I'm saying that there were people who weren't sold off the tape.
Okay. All right. Why? Like, what was missing?
Just because he was asked to do some different things and they weren't sure exactly how great he was going to be in coverage. So, and turns out he's been really good.
Okay. All right. Did I go first?
No, I went first.
Okay, you're up.
So my last one is Jerry Mixon Jr.
Okay.
Because who were we expecting to be the starters at linebacker,
Aaron? Jackson, Tatum, and Bryce.
Yep.
Right? No?
The answer is Bryce and Jerry Mixon. And because, they essentially run a 4-2-5, essentially.
Okay, so you're talking about the two inside guys. Okay.
Yeah. So,
right.
Jackson.
So Tatum's been beaten out by Jerry then?
No. Devon Jackson.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
So expect Devon to play a lot, obviously. Right. But that room that people didn't think was as deep turns out is super deep. And Jerry Mixon Jr. has apparently been showing out and showing that he's special.
Really? That's special, huh?
Yeah.
And he was a 3-star, so he's blowing up.
Yes, special enough to unseat. special enough to unseat Devon Jackson.
And this is a given. This is what's going to happen.
That's what I expect I expect Jerry Mixon to be on the field with Bryce Betcher on the first snap of the season.
Okay. So what does that mean, though? Like, obviously, he's displayed an ability to play at this level, but is there going to be some inexperience issues here and there?
So I mean, of course, because he hasn't played as much as Jackson has, but I mean, if you have been able to outdo a guy who was expected to be a starter who played a lot last year and has exceptional physical traits, that means you're not screwing up pretty much anything.
Right. Because they're big on assignment football, what you need to be. All right, so I guess we're going to be spicy on this one. I'm going with running back Mekhi Hughes, transfer from Tulane. No, let me finish.
No, I'm gonna let you finish your talk first.
I'm scared. I'm afraid you're gonna torpedo me. First of all, dude said one of his favorite players that he looks up to is Walter Payton. As you can see, I got a Walter Payton autograph helmet. I got a Walter Payton thing right here. So, and Walter Payton football somewhere as well. So that meant a lot to me. So his pops is a big Walter Payton fan, so I got to get in touch with him. But look, you went out to get a transfer running back from Tulane at 2,700 yards.
Yeah.
And we talked about what Marcus had when he came in as a redshirt freshman, the talent he had around him. So adding a marquee back, adding a guy who's been there, done that, is going to help because you have to run the football. I don't believe, and we'll see, I don't believe Dante is going to come in and be a Heisman candidate caliber guy year one. That could maybe happen next year. I'm not buying it this year. And so if you're not going to get that, you better have a really good running game, which is something Oregon has always had, especially in the years when they've been dominant. So I like the addition of Hughes, and I'm expecting big things. And now you can ruin my day. Go ahead.
Hey man, listen. You're a backup running back to start the season. He can have a good.
Is he really going to be the backup?
Yes, he will not be. I do not expect him to be the first running back on the field.
Who beat him out?
Noah Whittington.
Oh, okay.
So, and now mind you, and I say that with this, running back is the most fluid position, and running back and then wide receiver are the two most fluid positions in football in terms of, because you don't truly get to see how special backs are until they are actually in games, in like live type of situations. And once you do, that's when you know who they really are. Mekhi Hughes has put a lot of good film on tape. But whatever has been happening in practice, Noah Whittington is going to, I'll say it like that, I expect Noah Whittington to be the first running back out there. But Mekhi Hughes is going to play. And think about the Buccaneers last year. Did Bucky Irving start out as a starting running back?
Nope.
No. Is he now the starting running back?
Yep. I should have drafted him last year in my keeper league. Damn it. Go ahead. Was he the guy clearly about halfway through the season? It was like, Rachaad White is cool, but this guy right here, this guy's different. And so running back is fluid. We've seen Noah Whittington in his growth, especially coming back from injury. We've seen on tape Mekhi Hughes, but for whatever reason, through practice, Noah Whittington appears to have the edge right now. So Mekhi can still prove that he's the best back, but who will be rolling out there when the starters are announced? A whole different story. Yeah, and that more than makes sense considering Whittington's been here. When he and Bucky transferred in that year, Bucky had 156 carries to Noah's 139. Bucky was more productive, but by a yard per carry. But clearly Noah played a lot. And the next year, in 23, though, I didn't know it. That
was when he got hurt.
He had a lot of injuries that year. Yeah.
He tore up his knee. That was the year he tore up his knee.
Right.
But,
and then
but he was banged up too.
Right. And then last year, he resumed a backup duty to Jordan James, we got 118 carries. Of course, Jordan got 223 now, or 233. Sorry. Now Stein has said that he hopes to have more than just two guys carrying the load, because after
expect
Noah at
Hill
118
to get some carries.
Who?
Expect Hill,
okay.
the
Is
true
Riggs
freshman from St. Louis.
What about Riggs?
Yeah. Riggs too. Like
Right.
that running back has quickly turned, and you might see Jordan Davidson, the freshman out of Mater Dei, as like the goal line back, kind of like Jordan James did his freshman year.
Right. Okay. So clearly, even if, Hughes began the season as the number one back and continued all season, you couldn't expect him to see the 265 carries he saw last year at Tulane with Whittington on the roster. Because Whittington's got it. So
you wouldn't even want that.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even want that out of your star back, because you want him fresh toward the end of the season.
Right. So, regardless of who starts, I felt coming in that Whittington was going to get at least a big chunk of carries anyway. But it does. I mean, I'm not shocked, because Whittington's been in the system, and I would expect him to be maybe more efficient in terms of doing your assignments, et cetera, et cetera. And he's good. The question is, he's not as big, and maybe he can't take the punishment. But then again, we saw LaMichael James at 5'9", 195 take all the punishment on his way to becoming a Heisman finalist. All right. Any other wild cards you want to toss in?
Nope. That's
You
it.
good? All right, that's quite the list. All right, real quick before we go, let's tackle one thing real quick. Ohio State plays Texas this week.
Yes.
Are Ohio State and Penn State really the only two teams standing between Oregon and repeating as Pac as Big Ten champions? Is there anyone else? And between those two, which one's the biggest threat in your estimation?
Oof. Okay. I would say yes, because those three teams are going to finish 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Of course, you're going to have, if Bryce Underwood plays well at Michigan, they could, try to throw a wrench in the plans. You could have a team like Washington impact, who is one of the top three teams, because Washington is going to be, I believe, a lot better than people think. And they could derail somebody's plans. But I do believe that those three teams are going to be finished 1, 2, and 3 in the conference. But the biggest threat, Ohio State roster-wise, right? In terms of, because their roster is just crazy talented. They have some freaks on there. But they're breaking in a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, new quarterback who hasn't played at all. Like, that's a lot to, deal with at once. But Penn State is the team that should win the Big Ten. On paper, right? Because you have a third-year starting quarterback who some people ridiculously believe is the next coming of Josh Allen.
You do not like him.
No. They have 3 returning starting linemen. 2 of them are probably NFL bound, and the other 2 are supposed to be really good. They went out in the transfer portal, got new wideouts. So now you can't blame the wide receivers for Cade Klubnik's failures. They have Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton in the running back room, 2 special backs. 2,200
yards, 20 touchdowns combined last year.
Yes, and they have Jim Knowles at defensive coordinator, who just won a national championship and shut Oregon down in the first half of the Rose Bowl.
And he's got 2 defensive linemen, Dennis Sutton and Zane Durant, who combined for 24 tackles for loss.
So there's on paper Penn State.
Oh, and 5 O-linemen who started at least 5 games in their career, including most of the starters from last year, led by, what's this kid's name? Ioane?
Yes.
Ioane, who's projected first-round pick, right?
So what are we?
All-American?
They're
the team to beat. They're the team to beat. 100%.
They should be. However, that monkey on the back, that James Franklin 1,000-pound gorilla, will he go conservative again when it matters the most? Will that butt cheek get with that? Will it? You can't see through it. You can, hey man, man can't get a fart out sometimes. So
Okay.
if they're able to get past that, Penn State has a legitimate shot. But that's why I'm not like when I'm asked about it, I'm like Penn State, yes, but Penn State, no.
Okay. I'm picking Penn State 100% to beat Oregon at home and then win the conference championship. Ducks still probably get into the playoffs. We shall see. But yeah, they just return too much. But you make great points, right? I mean, sometimes coaches can't get over the hump.
Penn State should beat Oregon. Everything is in their favor. It's at home. Everything I said.
Yep.
But whether that actually, if they lose that Oregon game, I am telling you, the knives are going to be out on James Franklin, and he is going to have a Ryan Day like suit of armor to be able to rally his team to go win a national championship after that, because that will. Oh, I mean, if Ryan Day didn't have such a special roster. Like if you take away Jeremiah Smith or you take away one of those or Caleb Downs, they don't win a national championship.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we'll see what happens. I can't wait for that game. Like that would be the biggest game I've covered at all since the Blazers made the playoffs in 2021. So I'm excited for that game. All right. Thanks for listening to the Ducks Confidential podcast. Today's episode of Ducks Confidential was brought to you by Travel Lane County, an organization that promotes travel and tourism in the Eugene, Cascades, and Coast region. Ducks fans can learn more at www.eugenecascadescoast.org. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week to review the Montana State game and look ahead to Oklahoma State. Take care.